The pods are open. The pods are open. The pods are open. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We are here so that we can talk Love is Blind Season 5. It's been 5 of them things. That is crazy. That is crazy that this show has lasted 5. 5 seasons, y'all. Season 5, Episode 1. So you're a recent cheater. That really set the tone for me for this season. That set the tone for me. I don't know about y'all, because I was kind of on the episode until we got to the end. But let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. First things first. If you are a returning viewer to the channel, whether from Love Island, from The Ultimatum, from Married at First Sight, from Love is Blind last season, and you have not yet subscribed, y'all hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and as always, hop into the comment section. If you are a brand new viewer that just found me from this video, I hope that this is the video that convinces you to subscribe and to join the family over here. All right, so off rip. Why couldn't anybody hear anything? Wasn't that weird to y'all? Was that weird to y'all? It was, so are you a morning person? Are you asking me if I'm a horny person? No, morning person. What do you do for a living? You're asking what do I look for in a woman? What is going on? How come couldn't nobody hear? How come nobody could hear? I said, y'all not gonna worry me today. I promise you. Excuse me. Y'all are not gonna worry me today. I'm hoping that that is just a little something that they threw in. Because that, I was like, I don't want to go through the season with everybody misinterpreting or hearing them having to, go back and forth about what's what and what you say and who said what, whatever the case. Let's get into the actual episode, though. First things first, okay? We have Milton and Lydia. They both like rocks. So I didn't write down their ages and their occupations, only because we did a whole video about that just a couple of days ago. All right. So Milton and Lydia, they both like rocks. We know that she's a geologist. He has a polarizing microscope. And she was like, "You were such a nerd. You're such a nerd. Oh my God, you're such a nerd." I want us to get past this in society. I want us to get further along in society where we are not calling people that enjoy science or STEM or anime or whatever nerds. That's not a nerd. That's not what a nerd. That's not a nerd, y'all. It's just not. So she kept calling him a nerd, and he was like, "I'm really not, though." And I was like, "Say it with your chest," so she stops calling you a nerd. So he's 24, she is 30. She's reluctant about his age. She thinks he's too young. If you think he's too young now, he's going to be too young tomorrow. He's going to be too young a week from now. If you are hung up on that man's age, don't talk to him. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go now. Let's not waste anybody's time, okay? Next up, we have Izzy. Okay, Izzy is insecure about his bald head. He said that the girls don't want a man that's bald. I said, what women are you talking to, Izzy? What women are you talking to? Women love a bald head. A bald head and a beard? A bald head and a goatee? What? But okay. So we find out that he's on a date with Stacy. And his hidden talent is that he is a drummer. She loves to play darts. He likes to play darts. He was raised, he said, by a lot of women in his family, so he knows how to dance. He said, "I can do it all." Okay? She found that to be sexy and endearing. And she was like, "I'm going to give you 5 points for that." I said, 5 points? Now, we have seen her a couple of times give people points. Stacy? What is this point system? Because I kind of feel like, why are you, I don't know. The point system felt icky to me. I can't explain why, but it felt gross to me. So then we have Izzy again on a date with Johnny. So we find out that Johnny has been married before. She hasn't told anybody else this in the process because she didn't want people to prejudge her. And she doesn't want people to look at her as, oh, I'm the second husband, I'm the second husband. So she's been feeling, she's insecure about that. Clearly she's a little nervous about that. He tells her that he has been engaged before, so he doesn't really care. He's okay with that. That's fine. Honesty is key, transparency is key in this particular avenue. She's in her confessional, and she said that her mom told her that maybe she's just not meant to be in a relationship. I said, oh, not your mama being trash. Not your mama being trash. And I hate to say that about her mom, but it's like, why would you say that about your daughter? She had a bad marriage, okay? She had a failed marriage. She might have had one or two other bad relationships. But don't tell nobody they not marriage material. She just has not found the right one. Got my eye on you, Johnny's mama. I don't want to see Johnny's mama on here because I feel like she's gonna be rude, right? She's gonna be rude. So next up we have Taylor and JP. So Taylor's a teacher, JP is a fireman. He went to the school that she currently teaches at. I said, oh, that's cute. That's cute. So they both want kids, but they want to wait a little bit after getting married because, once you have kids monopolize and take over your life. So they want to date and travel and really get to know each other. And then a little bit down the line, have kids. Nothing wrong with that. All for that. They are both on one accord with that. They might need to hone in on the timeline. But if that's how y'all are feeling, that's great so far. So he likes to cook. He would say, I can make like duck and a prime rib. She was like, grilled cheese. Grilled cheese. That's what I like, a good grilled cheese. He was like, cheese and bread? Sure. He was like, you don't want like something fancy? Like, I mean, I too am a grilled cheese fan. I'm from Wisconsin. I like cheese on everything. But you gotta zhuzh it up, girl. Like, are you just getting baked? Like, you know what? He gonna make it fancy. Y'all know firemen can cook because they're working 24 to 48-hour shifts. I have a couple friends that are firemen, and I follow them on Instagram, and they be cooking in their stories. So firemen can cook from what I've seen. So he tells her that he will stop talking to every other girl. I said, oh, this is very soon. Okay. So she was like, yeah, just go ahead and propose now. I said, what? He's like, I will. I will. I said, oh, y'all gonna end up together. Okay. Cute. He seemed very serious about proposing now. When he walked in the hallway with some of the other guys, he was saying, I'm ready to propose to her now. But if I recall correctly from what I read, they have to date for a certain amount of time before they are able to propose. But I see them being together, to be real. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. So next we get Uche. So Uche is going on dates with Miriam and Aaliyah. Miriam is at the top. So Miriam gave me pause. Miriam gave me a lot of hesitation. Miriam really had me looking at her like, I don't know if you lying or what. But let's get into it. So we find out that Miriam was born and raised in Nigeria, came over to the States for college. So he thought she came over here alone. She said no. It was between the UK and here. I had family in both places. I originally wanted to go into medicine. Great. He's like, okay, what kind of medicine? She was like, I'm a scientist. I said, okay. Okay, I'm still riding this train with you, sis. Still going with you. Then she starts talking in circles about the type of scientist she was. Then she said she worked in the Middle East. And I said, girl, what? But she's moving back to Houston in a few weeks. He said, so where do you plan on living? She said, oh, I've been back already for a couple weeks. It's giving liar. It's what it's giving. It's giving liar, Miriam. Do you live here or don't you? Are you a scientist or not? Uche, don't talk to that woman. Ooh, Oh Lord, go goblet. Uche, don't talk to that girl. Don't talk to that woman. Don't talk to her. She's a liar. I got my eye on Miriam. Something about her was shifty. So she then said that she sees herself flourishing in skincare, and he was like, okay, like selling it. And she was like, yeah, yeah. And I said, girl, bye, ma'am. Bye, sis. Bye, sis, because you giving a whole liar right now for no reason. On top of that bad eyeshadow she keeps wearing. So then we get Aaliyah. Aaliyah's pictured down below, the third picture. And she said that he has a nerdy vibe. And I wrote down, why are y'all so comfortable calling people nerds? Like, what about him gives nerdy? Maybe they seeing something that we aren't, but nothing about him seems nerdy so far. So she said that she too is a nerd. I too am a nerd. She said because she reads and plays solitaire and likes anime. I said, that is such dangerous rhetoric to think that because somebody enjoys reading, they are a nerd. Lord have mercy, y'all. Are we that far off the beaten path, Lord? Are we? Are we? Since when does reading make you a nerd? Oh, goodness gracious. So we also find out that she lived in Japan as a kid, which is where her love of anime comes from. Her parents were in the Air Force. He is a lawyer by trade, but he also owns a software company and enjoys being his own boss. She too wants to be her own boss, and she would love a partner that has been through that experience, that can give her that push, that bump to want to, jump into entrepreneurship. They got chemistry. They're clicking, right? For now. For now. So next up, we get a conversation with Izzy and Johnny. If we didn't see nothing else, we saw Izzy go on dates, didn't we? They talk about sex. She says she's shy when it comes to talking about sex. He said the shy girls are the freaks. She was like, oh, I mean, you ain't wrong. I said, girl, how you go from being shy to now you just a freak in the sheets? Johnny, I feel like Johnny might be on here wanting to prove her mom wrong and show that she can be in a successful relationship. So that makes me kind of question why Johnny's really on the show. Is it because you really want to find somebody, or is it because somebody told you you're not fit to be married and you want to prove them wrong? So that's a little concerning. Little concerning. So we move on to, Lord, did I not put the picture? Oh, okay. So we move on to Johnny and Chris. So they're having a little game night, which is cute. So they talk about them losing their virginity, which is one of the questions in the game. She lost hers as a junior or senior, her junior or senior year of high school, which I think is standard age. He was reluctant to say his. He then said that he's always lied and said he lost his junior year to this one girl at high school, but in actuality, he was on a trip with some friends in Mexico. They were drinking, they were partying, and one of his female friends forced herself on him. He didn't want to do it. She got in bed, laid on top of him, and forced him to do it, which is assault. And that happened when he was 17. And she thanks him for sharing that experience and all of that type of stuff. And it's just like, there's never a reason to force yourself on somebody ever. There is never a reason. And I like that he told this story because it is so taboo for a man to admit that. You know what I mean? I feel like far too often we hear women tell these stories about it and we take it serious, right? I always believe the victim initially. Off rip, I always believe the victim until there is hardcore proof to make me not believe the victim. And I feel like that's the same energy we need to have for men as well. And unfortunately, we don't, which is why a lot of men don't come out and talk about that. That was assault. That was the R word. That's what that was. But the fact that he is a man, he probably felt the way and like nobody will believe him, or you know what I'm saying? So kudos to you, Chris, for being brave enough to tell your story. Okay. Kudos to you, Chris. So then we get Izzy and Lydia. Izzy said he's a people pleaser. They are both very detailed oriented people. They feel, Lydia said that's how she shows affection. I remember everything that you say about something, and I remember everything you say about something, and I remember that because that's how I show affection, by showing attention to what you like, what you don't like, that type of stuff. She said she feels that they are the same and asks if he agrees. He clearly don't. Clearly doesn't, because he gets quiet and it's like, yeah. So she's asking him different things. He's hesitant. He's stuttering. Be a man about it. Be honest. Tell this woman you are not interested. Be a man, be honest, tell her you're not interested. Nip the shit in the bud now. Now. Do not lead this lady on. So she tells him that he is her number one, and he asks if she's making other connections. Okay, so now we have to put in context clues, right? If I'm telling you, oh my God, I think you were so great and you're my number one and blah, 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 and your response is, so who else you been talking to? How are your other connections going? No. Context clue number one. He then tells her that he needs to sit and reflect on everything, and, bouncing from different, pods and dating, it's a lot for him. He wants to process everything. Context clue number two says he doesn't like you. He's just not that into you. That man don't like you. So she's like, all right, good night. I'm going to dream about you. I hope you dream about me and blah, blah. And I said, oh, Lydia. Lydia came in acting very desperate, and I think it's going to backfire on her. And I know Lydia is going to work my nerve. I can feel it. So we get Uche and Aaliyah back on another date. Aaliyah said that if they get married and get a house, she wants a woman cave. A she shed. Remember the she shed commercial? She wants to go to a place where she can paint and play guitar and play her records and write her poetry. And he was like, poetry? You write poetry? I used to do spoken word as I sit on the bench and wonder. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all do spoken word, I did not mean to offend y'all. But I love spoken word. So then she was like, oh my God, guess my favorite movie, Love Jones, because of the spoken word, because Darius was a whole vibe. If y'all have not seen Love Jones, shame on you. Y'all should. It is one of my favorite rom-com movies, definitely top 5. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to call my old poetry buddies, my old poetry group. We can get together. We got to get you back on stage. I need to get back writing. We going to do, like, they started really vibing. We find out that he used to play guitar. They got the same guitar. Now they want to get back into lessons and jam together. So she is going to be strumming My Pain while he is doing the spoken word. I like it. I like it. So we'll see how that goes with them. I mean, for right now, we're okay with it. So JP and Taylor, he likes to wear red, white, and blue, and it just let me know where he stands on a lot of things. He yawns. She wants him to do push-ups. He tries to spell her name. Lord knows he can't spell, because nobody spells Taylor Taylar. I know somebody gonna write in the comments, actually my sister's cousin brother's daughter, that's how they spell their name. Nobody spells Taylor like that. They just don't. Not the average person. She decides to do a push-up to spell his name. White woman love to say they twerking. Girl, you were not twerking. That ass was not bouncing. You weren't twerking, but it was cute for what it was, for what you thought you were doing. I applaud the confidence. That's all I can give you. Okay? So, next up is Izzy and Lydia. Talk about a cringe moment, y'all. I felt bad. So, y'all know, or maybe y'all don't know, they don't get to pick their dates initially. So during this phase of the process where you're getting to know everybody, you walk into a room and production has put you with with somebody. So Izzy's in there. Lydia walks in. Hola, mi amor. He immediately was like, oh, he don't want to be in there with her because he don't like her. So he gets right to it, rips the band-aid off. Tells her he has stronger connections with other girls. She asks what's missing. He don't like you. Here, and this is where I feel like Lydia stepped in it, stood in it, dug her heels in, and hurt her own feelings. He's telling you, I have stronger connections with other women. Don't ask him why. Don't ask him what's missing. If that man is telling you he has stronger connections with other women, he has stronger connections with other women. She immediately starts crying. She wants to know the exact reason. He said it's just the chemistry. Boom, bang, pow. He got right to it. She said that she has had a lifetime of not being enough. She was excited to talk to him all day and looking forward to it. And look where that landed her. So she goes back to the room and she is broken up in pieces. You hear me? Pieces. So Aaliyah tells her that you're still deserving of love. And Aaliyah's giving her the pep talk of a lifetime, not realizing her face is about to get cracked. And T minus 5 minutes. So we get to Aaliyah and Uche. And this is when I knew not only was Uche going to be a problem, but that this season was about to take off and soar. So they're talking. He tells her, we are definitely leaving here together. If I can't leave here with you, I ain't leaving here with nobody. Spitting that game, talking real soft and smooth. Everything is a vibe. He says his deal breaker is dishonesty. Great. She says she feels the same way. Hers is being a liar. She don't want nobody that's going to be no liar. He then asks her, have you ever cheated in a relationship? She said yes. He said, tell me what happened. Be honest. He was killing that protein bar. She was not sexually satisfied in her relationship. She was in a relationship for 2.5 years, was not sexually satisfied, stepped out, cheated on her boyfriend. He asked her, when did this happen? She said, oh, within the last 2 years. He says, oh, you a recent cheater. I said, not a recent cheater. A cheater is a cheater in my book. Whether you cheated when you were 21 or you cheated when you were 27, a cheater is a cheater. At the end of the day, the person still cheated. So she said that, you know what, I talked to the guy about our sex and I did what I could to give tips and pointers and whatever. She said, but I'm a human, goddammit, and I got needs. I said, I know that's right, girl. Bust that the best way you can. We do not condone cheating over here. That's not cool, though. That's not cool. But he asked her, why didn't you just break up with him then? And I was with him. If the sex is that bad, why didn't you just break up with him if you feel that he is not fulfilling you sexually? She said that she was scared. She said she was afraid of being alone. He was like, that's not good. The judgment came over him like whoosh. He was so judgmental and cold and callous during this scene, and it showed me the type of lawyer that he is, right? Because he was like, did you ever tell this boyfriend that you cheated? And she was like, no. I said, girl, he know now. Shit. He knows now. So she said that she didn't want to hurt him, and that's why she never told him. She knew what she did was wrong. There was no need to do that. He tells her, so you weren't ashamed or embarrassed? And I was like, don't therapize her, sir. Don't therapize me. Because that's what he was doing. He then said, no. It was more about you. You didn't want to be accountable. You didn't want to have to live with the shame of what you did. And all I could think about was Game of Thrones. Shame. 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 So he then tells her, look, I get it. I cheated at 18, but all I did was kiss somebody. He said that, but you know what? I am the type of person that has a conscience where I would tell the person, did you tell the heifer that you cheated on, that you kissed somebody at 18? Because now you're being a judgmental ass prick. Don't do that. Don't do that. The way that he was going in on her, nigga, you acting like she cheated on your big headed ass. I was with you, Uche, until here. Don't make it seem as if you have such a much better conscience than her, because at the end of the day, both y'all asses cheated. Yours was at 18, hers was at what, 27. Don't do that. Don't do that. So then he was like, so did you stay with him? And she was like, yes, for another 3 months. How many times did you cheat? I only cheated once. It was the one time. I felt like she was pleading her case as if she got caught cheating on him. That's how he was acting. So then she was like, I'm human and I have needs. And I was like, this ain't the time to say it. This ain't the time to say it. So he then asked her, do you have more guy friends or girlfriends? And that's when she was like, no, don't do that. I would never do that to you. I'm a different person. That was a long time ago. He was like, no, fuck all that. 2 years ago ain't that long. It's not that long ago. You haven't changed that much in 2 years. So she was like, well, you know what? Because now she's crying. She's sobbing. She's, her feelings are hurt. She's feeling judged. She tells him, well, it's clear that you see me differently now. He doesn't respond. So she was like, bye. And she walks out. As she's leaving, he then says, but you know what? You didn't have to tell me. And it's a good thing that you did, because, that's showing honesty. So she didn't hear that. All he hears is the door close. So he got his audacity to be mad. I couldn't tell if he was more mad at himself or her. But he goes back to the men quarters. This ain't a game to me. I'm serious about this. Nigga, stop. Stop it. Why do you think she's not serious about this either? So he's talking to one of them white boys. I don't know all their names. Basically off Lookshit. Looked like he was talking to Chris. And or was it JP? I think he was talking to the firefighter. Firefighter has the more round face. I think that's who he was talking to. And he was like, well, I was talking to this girl. I didn't like the answer she gave to a question. He was like, but I mean, she didn't have to be honest with me, and she was. So he does want to take that into account. He thinks that this is something he can get past. He doesn't know now, but he's trying to figure out what is something that he's willing to accept and what is a complete non-negotiable. Meanwhile, she is over doing a wall slide, sobbing uncontrollably. None of the other sisters got up and checked on her, ladies. But Lydia, it's like, you're just like me. We're just like each other. Don't do this. Don't let him get you out your box. Don't let him knock you off your square. I said, Lydia, sis, babe, Hans, sweetheart, what are we doing? You are scoring right now. Don't fill Aaliyah's head up with all this foolishness because you mad that your feelings just got hurt. Don't do that, because Lydia gives me the type that misery loves company. And if I can't have nobody, bitch, nobody can have nobody. So I want you to be as miserable. And why do you think y'all are the same person? Y'all personalities don't seem anything alike. But that was the first episode, y'all. It got good. If you've made it this far in the video, don't talk about future episodes. We only talk about the episode that the recap is on. Please and thank you. I will be back for episode 2. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.